I use failure as motivation. I use failure as learning experiences, and you can do the same in your life. Welcome back to Life Worth Chasing. I'm your host, Chase Maher, and this show is about helping entrepreneurs build their business around their dream lifestyle. What's up, everybody? Happy Thanksgiving week. I wanted to switch things up a little bit. I was checking out the stats of the show. Looks like we got a lot of new subscribers, a lot of new listeners. And so if you're new to the show, welcome. If you've been here for a while, thank you. I appreciate all the support. On Life Worth Chasing, we're talking about everything real estate, money, personal finance, building wealth, and high-level business strategies. Usually it's an interview show. Every now and then I do some tips and a short solo episode. And because it's Thanksgiving week and I'm feeling thankful, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted to get a little vulnerable. I want to share with you, a little bit more about me and some of the failures that I've gone through to reach a level of success that, sure, I'm not happy with yet. I'm not fulfilled with it yet. Others might look at it and it might be something that they strive for one day. But for me personally, I have a long way to go. But with that being said, I wanted to help you get to know me a little bit better. And so first, before we get into the show, if you're new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We are almost to 100 5-star reviews on the show, so I'm very thankful. So if you enjoy this episode or you go back and download some more and you enjoy those, please, whatever platform you're listening on, leave a 5-star review. Write a little note. If you want to write what your favorite episode has been, go ahead and drop that. You can do that on Apple. Just scroll down to the bottom. It's super, super easy. And that's going to help us build some more awareness for the show. So let's go ahead and get started. This is why success is born in the face of failure. So from a young age, we are really taught that failure is for losers and failing is bad. And, it's such a shame because I grew up all my life being afraid of failure and not trying to take any risks. I grew up in a household where when I failed, I was criticized majorly. I was put down. I was, verbally assaulted on multiple occasions for failing. And so I was always afraid to take those risks. And I always made fun of others for failing. And it was a terrible experience, a terrible quality to have. And it wasn't until I moved to the West Coast and I had several years in a row of failing that I realized that failing is a learning experience. Failing is something that we have to go through in order to succeed at the highest level. So to share with you some examples of these failures, maybe you can relate to them. I moved to San Diego from Virginia Beach, Virginia, and I left a good 6-figure job with a good schedule. And I essentially went on 2 years of failure, 2 years of never making more than $6,000 in a month, 2 years of partying too much and failing too much and just making terrible decisions in my personal life. 2 years of trying to figure it out, but not really. I was actually failing at figuring it out. I wasn't putting towards the effort that I needed to get ahead in life. And then I got a job in real estate as a hard money lender. And guess what? I failed at that. I went 4 months without making $1 in that job. And it's interesting because you might be relating with me right now. You might be in a place where you're failing. You might be in a place where you think you're failing. And you have to ask yourself, is it the environment that you're in? Or is it you? Are you not putting the effort that you need to be putting forth? Are you not putting the planning and the desire to build? Are you not exhausting all options? And I always blamed it on other people. I always blamed it on my environment. But when I looked in the mirror, when I looked at the man in the mirror, I figured out that it was me that was causing my failures. So there was a day where I told myself, from this day forward, I am letting all my failures behind me. I'm leaving them behind me, and I'm actually going to start turning them into fuel for success. And that very next year, this was Christmas time, all right? That very next year, I did almost 200,000 in a brand new gig as a real estate agent. I used those failures. I used that as a strength, as a learning experience, and I just worked my ass off day in and day out. So if you're in a situation right now where you feel like a failure, ask yourself, how can you use it as fuel? How can you use it as motivation? How can you learn from it and push forward so that you never go backwards again? But there's a little trick there. We think that as we start getting momentum, we're done with the failures. Well, guess what? My second year into real estate, I had a deal fall through that was going to pay me $145,000. Talk about an ultimate failure. It spun me into a just long road of depression. And I thought to myself, here we go again. I'm back. The last year and a half, 2 years has been a waste, and I'm back to where I was. And it literally took me months to get out of this form of depression. It took me quite a while. But I, again, used this as fuel. I used it as a learning experience to ask myself, what did I do wrong? What went wrong? Why did I put myself in this position? Why did I put myself in a position so that I was at risk for such a failure? And that's when I got more involved in adding multiple streams of income, focusing on cash flow rather than penny pinching and saving cash. I learned from these experiences. I learned from these failures. And within a couple years, I'm back and far beyond the amount of income, the amount of health, and the quality of the relationships that are in my life because I used failure as fuel. I use failure as motivation. I use failure as learning experiences, and you can do the same in your life. So no matter where you're at right now, I want you to, obviously, if you're driving, don't do this. But when you're at a standstill and you're at a place where you can focus, I want you to think about and write down on a piece of paper all the things that you failed at, all the failures that you've had in your life. All right. Take this Thanksgiving week as a time to reflect. All right. You're going to have a lot of off time. You're going to have family time. Everybody knows Wednesday night before Thanksgiving is one of the biggest party times of the year. So go enjoy yourself. But I want you to take a couple hours this week and think about, where have you failed in your life? Write it down. And then one by one, reflect. What did I learn from this? What could I have done differently? What can I do moving forward so that this doesn't happen again? And at the top of this paper, I want you to write down failure as fuel. Failure is fuel that's going to drive the vehicle for you to success. I'm so hyped up right now. Because I can feel the energy. I can feel that you are starting to make a shift in your life. You're starting to realize that success is born in the face of failure. Okay? Don't be afraid of your failures. Learn from them. Don't criticize other people for their failures. Focus on you and yourself. And realize that success is born in the face of failure. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this. Please subscribe so you can get more episodes moving forward. All right. Leave me a 5-star review. Shoot me a DM on either Twitter or Instagram. My handle is @IamChaseMaher. And moving forward, I know you're going to get a ton of value for this. So if you've been here for a while, keep on going. I love the support. If you're brand new here, subscribe and let's get it. Let's move on. Let's move on from these failures and let's all use them as fuel together. Again, happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Thank you for the support of the show. All right, homies, that's it for today's episode of Life Worth Chasing. And I want to try something a little new. If you really like this, screenshot it, throw it up on Instagram stories, tag me @IamChaseMaher so I can repost it and I can share it, and shoot me a DM. Let me know what your favorite part of the episode is, or let me know if there's somebody that you want me to bring on or something you want me to talk about. I love getting feedback from you all, and I'm just excited to keep it going. So thanks for listening, and I'll see you on the next show.